And we're live.
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 Welcome, Ryan.
Hey, welcome, Kurt.
Good to
Morning.
see you
Yeah,
again.
good to see you again.
Good to see you here. I
Yeah.
didn't expect you.
Good to be here. Yeah. What are the odds running into each other right here, the place we both work at? Wow.
So yeah, I'm gonna get ready.
No viewers yet, but when they replay this will be real funny. When they go back,
It's just me and you.
Just me and you. Just me and you
we're not
live.
talking To ourselves, are we?
That's okay. We're
talking to them.
you know.
We're talking to
we're
the
ta-
future then.
Yes,
Future
well,
them,
we got
they'll
one.
be here. Oh, we got one.
We got one. I don't know who it is.
One.
We got one. Let's see. Do I have
Ghostbusters.
comments? I hope I have turned on. Let's see here. Oh, we got two. Oh, we got Matt Budd. Matt Budd's watching. Oh, good.
He's my favorite watcher.
He is.
I like Matt. I miss Matt around.
I do.
here,
I do.
I saw him yesterday in his nice mask.
Yes, he did look like a superhero.
He's great.
He is. Great guy. He can hear all of this. We're talking about you, Matt. Everybody's saying real good things about you.
Okay.
So, oh my goodness, are we
We
ready?
got a minute. We got a minute. Take your time, Ryan. Get ready. Frantically get ready.
Take your time, but hurry up.
People, they can see all this on the...
Okay. I'm watching. Oh. I do. Did you want to get a shot like this?
Oh, yeah, sure. Be right here. Yep, that looks good.
Okay.
MusicMedic said, "Hi, Matt."
Yeah, I did.
Oh, that was you. I thought that was Matt
No,
talking to
yeah,
himself.
it's Matt's talking.
Matt's on there like, "Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt, how's
Hey,
it
Matt,
going?
what's
How's
up?
it
Hey,
going?
good. How you doing today, Matt? I like your mask. Nice mask." No, you sound great. No, you sound great.
You're the greatest.
All right. Too many Wilmington altos.
Let's see what's going on here. Who else is watching? We're frantically with Steve. Oh, Boat. Boat's on. Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Who let him have access to a computer? Oh, that's not good. Yeah. We're getting there. We're getting there. Stay tuned for some giveaways. Boop. Oh, that was it. That's all you get to see. Maybe one more. Boop.
Oh,
That's
no.
it.
We're giving one of these babies away.
Ah.
A set of those babies.
Woo! Well, you
What,
don't even see those people. You can't even see those. It's too good. It's too good.
Oh, and I guess some epoxy to go with it. Right?
I guess.
Who do we give them to? We have to decide.
Yeah, we have to decide. We've done it sharing. I would like to go with like maybe funniest comment. Funniest comment, so I automatically win. So I would bequeath it to the second funniest comment. But yeah, sharing. We should do sharing. So yeah. Oh, I can read that. I can read that. Somebody's writing in Portuguese. I can read that.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
Brazilian, and he would like to do the course
Let's
at
do this.
MusicMedic.
Yeah.
And said, "You are the top. We are the top. Me or you or us both.
Let's
I
do
think
this.
us both. All right. All right.
Hey, they should come and do a course at MusicMedic.
That's
We
right.
love doing courses,
That's right.
and we do them all the time.
That's right. All right. Let's see here. Let's see how I can.
Okay. And so we begin. We're not frantic.
All right, we're not frantic. There's-
Now we are frantically
Yeah. There's.
doing this video.
That's right. There's
Okay,
Kurt.
Let's look at installing risers on a saxophone. Come on. See what we got. Palm key risers are great, even if on this saxophone, this is one that we designed, so we made this palm D like a little higher.
Yeah. Wait. Is that a
That's-
Wilmington?
that's
Is that?
Wilmington.
That's a Wilmington sax right there.
So we made the palm key higher, but even with that, can you see that, Ryan? Even with that, I might want a little bit more on the D key. Manufacturers just can't make these so tall that that they can't make it so some people won't be able to use it, so they tend to go a little closer to the body. I might want a little bit more here. I might want a little bit of a bigger riser here because I have a ways to go. And probably what those two, I would want the E flat. So let's look at that. Let's look at how we would raise those keys up to make it more comfortable to play. So for years what we did is we took cork. There's a few different ways. I never did this, but some people use wine corks, and I've seen them on there, and I've seen them done okay, and then you don't know it's a wine cork until you take it off, and I've seen them done badly, and it looks like a wine cork.
You can definitely tell. It still has the label.
Don't use champagne corks directly, right?
Right.
Yeah, you want to shape them.
Yeah.
And I heard a story about some people using whatever this thing is,
flute head joint cork.
Flute head cork, and maybe for like soprano, someone might want to use a piccolo head joint cork. So, what we did for a long time in the shop is we used cork, and cork worked out really good. We would glue the layers. So here I have it glued up, and we glued up several layers of 1/8 cork.
Yeah, you can kind of see that.
There you go. And then I hit it with the sandpaper to make it look more beautiful. And what we would do is just put a little shape in there. Let me show you. I'll take this key off, this alto.
So you're talking in here, putting a little, yeah, we can see it right there, divot.
A little divot there, yeah.
In the shape of right of that palm key.
So here's a palm D, and I just took it off, and I put the divot right there so that the key can sit comfortably in there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see something else that's going to blow your mind.
Oh, look at that. Oh,
Wow.
Shouldn't even
Anyway,
say.
enough of that. So let's look at that's Jim Schmidt's self-leveling pad. We're testing it out on this Wilmington. So there's that. Let me show you how I did that. If maybe can you follow me over here, Ryan? Or no? Oh, really?
Oh, somebody's making a mess.
Somebody left a mess. Okay. Can you get right in here, Ryan, and I'll show this guy. So to dig in there, I'm going to use this round burr on the end of my Fordham. Couldn't find the end of it. It's right in front of me. And
Can I just do the burr?
you need that one?
Yeah, I just want to show the people real quick.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah.
Now you could use anything. I've also used my teeth. I've used something like this, a grinder that's
like a grinding wheel.
a grinding wheel that's stone. I've used these guys.
Stone grinding wheel, sandpaper drums. Yep.
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 And whatever is small enough. This guy. Maybe we can just do a little bit on this one, and I'll show you why. This one's pretty easy to work with. Okay, so from here, all I'm going to do is just grind in there. And with this, because this thing will cut metal, the hardest thing about this job is just not taking out too much. So I'm going to try to cut it out so this guy kind of sits right in there. Normally I'd make it a little bigger. Check that out.
They're saying, speak up a little bit. It's kind of hard to hear you.
Oh, there you go. Sorry about that. There you go. It's a little too small. I'm going to take some more off the front and back. You know that paper that dentists put in your teeth, you know, and then they like you bite down on it and it leaves like a little blue mark.
Yep.
I bet that would work here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, Boat just asked, "Do you do dental work?" Yes, we do.
There we go. This goes on there, and I'm basically dug out. I'm almost enough. I'd probably dig out a little bit more and go a little bit deeper. Once you got that, then there's a few ways that you could shape it. The number one way would be I would use the belt sander. We have a little belt sander from Harbor Freight, and that thing's pretty good, but it's on the down, it broke.
Yeah.
So some other ways might be you might be able to use a file, cork files pretty easily. To get the big chunks, I would come in with a knife and cut this down, and then basically just start shaping it with a file. And the nice thing about this is you can get any shape you want, you can get any size you want. Generally, the creative shapes that I've seen, like somebody looks at their hand and they think, oh, the key is gonna fit up in this part of my hand, or I like it to, I haven't seen too many creative shapes that players kept on their horn. I've seen them try it, I've done some for players and they thought it was cool, and then in the future they just wanted to take it off and just have the regular sort of teardrop shape.
Teardrop palm key touches, yep.
So if you don't have a good idea, it's okay to just go with the teardrop. It's what all the pros are doing.
Right. Everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the teardrop. So this is, you get the idea, right? You can kind of see that over some shaping, this thing, without too much work, I mean, unless you call this work, the thing is that these do take a little while. The end result can be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a really nice shape, and then what I would do, I'm not going to finish this one because it'll just take a little too long, but what I would do next is once I had it the shape I wanted, I would start to use sandpaper.
Kurt, what grit is that you're
This
using?
is 220, but I'm starting pretty heavy.
Yeah, pretty heavy grit.
Yeah, this would be to remove material and really get, for what I'm doing right now, I'm just taking out file lines.
Right, just
and
kind of getting the general shape.
Starting to shape it. And if you can just magically pretend that we have the shape.
There we
and
go.
ta-da,
There you go.
I am unprepared. And then here's a 220. Oh wait. That was
So that
100.
100, so
Sorry.
we got 100 and then 220, so you're progressively getting finer and finer.
Getting finer, and then this one would be more to start to really take the cork down, you know, and
You get your general shaping, and then you kind of start
making it smooth.
getting closer and closer,
Might take a piece of this guy,
getting rid of the file marks, yeah.
getting rid of the file marks. Wow. Thanks, Ryan. You should follow me
I
around
should,
all the
yeah.
time, and like.
I should just narrate your life.
No,
Yeah.
paper, please.
Paper.
Thank you.
Paper,
Okay,
yes.
Okay. So there it is. So now I can take out some round edges. I wouldn't make it. Obviously, that's not. You see how big it is.
Right.
But you see that it's starting to get smooth and look a little more beautiful. And then I might end out with some 400 grit. Here's some 400. This is a little used.
So like a 399 grit probably,
like
or
a
401, I
yeah.
guess. 401. I went the opposite
Oh,
way.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
goodness. Yeah. So it's like a 401 grit if you can find it. Special order.
And there you go. And it's a nice, just like wood, cork sands. real
Yeah.
well.
There you go. Nice. Yeah.
And I didn't sand that part, Ryan.
Oh, whoops.
Show 'em this.
show them the good part.
Well, I want to show him this because come on back over here. So for a cork riser, this is the part that's like this is the part you really want to know, I think. I use 5-minute epoxy, and this stuff's everywhere. We have it. It's available at Walmart. But there's two kinds, right? There's 5-minute, and then there's 2-ton. For this job, I haven't had as much luck with 2-ton. I've had a lot of luck with the 5-minute because the 5-minute. Let's mix some, and I'll show you. When you mix the 5-minute, whoa, my beautiful display. That took a long time. Okay, so when you mix the, thank you.
Yes.
When you mix the 5-minute, it's gonna get a little bubbly. It's a little runny too. It's runny in the beginning, but it's gonna get bubbly when you mix it. Yeah. So what I want to do is I want to use this epoxy as like a paint. so that it'll sit on top of the riser and it will protect it and it'll feel more like metal, like the saxophone. But I don't want to use this epoxy because it's all bubbly and weird. So what I'm going to do, or bubbly is weird, I'm just going to heat it up. And you can probably see as I heat it up, you see the bubbles starting to pop? I'm going to heat it up pretty hot, really. Well, the air torch is set at 300. And there it is. Now you see it starting to run. It started out a little bit like a thin taffy, and now it's more like, and then it went to like a maple syrup, and now it's just like a thin syrup. When it's like that, it's like a thin syrup, it's ready to go. And the thing is, when it sets up now, it's gonna set up real hard. If you don't heat it, when it sets up, it's going to set up, it won't set up as hard. So.
It almost has that tacky feel to it. Yeah.
When you don't heat it.
When you don't heat it.
Yeah.
So when you heat it, it dries harder. Like you said, it feels more like metal.
Now I would already have this guy glued onto my riser. I skipped a step, sorry, or glued onto my key, and this is where I would cover it with the epoxy.
So he's covering it with the epoxy. Everybody apparently is having trouble hearing the audio. So
really?
We got to speak up real loud.
Sorry.
We got to yell here. Okay.
Here we go. So this is
sorry.
I covered it with epoxy, and that is kind of the look that you're gonna get. And then from there, you're gonna let it set up, and at that point, it would be mounted onto your key.
Yeah, so it would already be mounted on the key, and you do all this.
And then you'd put the epoxy on top, and then you get a hard surface for it. Sorry, I don't have time to mount it on the key because the epoxy takes a little while to set up, right?
Yeah.
Let me show you a pre-made riser. I guess the first thing to do is pick a color, right?
Yeah.
If you want to choose a color for the riser. So there's a black riser on there. New York blue.
Oh, yeah.
Red has a special name.
Yeah. I think that one's, is that green? It's envy.
Green.
I think the red is fire.
The red is fire, thank you.
Green is envy.
Chicago.
For the
brown.
there's, I think, Sweet Georgia.
Sweet Georgia.
Yeah, Sweet Georgia. And then one is
MusicMedic blue.
Yeah, MusicMedic blue.
Yeah. Although I think this color's more
music. So this is MusicMedic, and this is more MusicMedic.
Let's put this one on. So the first thing you would do is your keys would be on the horn. So let's put this keys. People can't hear me, right?
Yep. Somebody did ask to use epoxy or rubber cement to mount it onto your key. Are you talking about the palm key risers would still be used? The 5-minute epoxy, correct? No, wait a second.
I use this other epoxy to mount any riser to the key.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll show you that when we get you. No matter what you're mounting to the key, you're going to mount it the same way, and we'll just get to we're going to end up with spoiler.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we're going to use.
So the 5-minute is for coating the cork risers, and then we use something else to actually mount it on the key.
Use a different one to mount it on the key. Yeah. You can use the 5-minute to mount it on the key. It just doesn't. This one has a special characteristic, non-sag.
Yep.
So it's really thick and it stays in place. So for holding the riser in place, it's good. For coating the riser, it's too thick.
It's too thick, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what I'll do. I figure out holding the horn in playing position, and from time, you figure out which ones you think it's going to be. So I think this one could be the largest, and I think these two might be the smallest. So I'm just going to put this riser on here and just give a feel. I feel like that might be a little too big for me, but let's put it on and see. So there's 100 ways to put this on temporarily. You could use hot glue, and then with hot glue you can break it off there and kind of peel the hot glue out. You don't need to go crazy heating up the key. Just put some hot glue here and push it on. For this right here, I'm just going to put some tape on there. And just get a feel. Yeah, I can feel that. That's a little big for me. I might go a little smaller. I'm going to put the medium-sized one on.
So it's a good thing you checked?
Yeah, it's a good thing I checked. I will put the medium on. check it, see what's up. I'll put this one on, test it out. We've also used double-sided sticky tape inside there. That works out good if you really want it to hold on. I think the hot glue idea is a great one if you want to really play it and see what it's like. Oh yeah. So there I can feel that one is good in there. This one is much better of that size. And I can use a little one there. I would tape that one on too and also see how it feels. But for now, let's just assume it's gonna work. And let's glue these babies on. Maybe we need a microphone for the phone.
I think we do. I think we need a mic. Yeah.
We need a microphone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm screaming right now.
Yeah, I am too. In fact, it's hard. I have earplugs in. You're screaming so loud. Please stop yelling at me. It's scaring me. But yeah, we'll try to talk loud. I'm right behind the camera, so I can talk. If I talk softer like this, you can probably still hear me. But...
Okay, here we go. Now, if you mess this up, you can heat up the key and you can take the riser back off.
Right.
And you probably can get the epoxy off of the key.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, so the epoxy doesn't really do damage to the palm key itself. If you really did need to take it off, like you said, you just heat that key up, pop that palm key riser off.
Okay, so I have 2 small and a large. So these are gonna be this is my D, this is my E flat, and this is my F. Let me take these keys off. I would say if you had a lot of time and patience and some tape, you could do this without taking it off the horn. But if you're not comfortable taking these keys off your horn, maybe just have a technician install these guys for
Right.
you. That would solve any problem, because you want to be able to deal with whatever's going to go wrong. And when you start working with epoxy around the horn, if you drip it onto something or whatever,
Glue some pads shut. Yeah, that's not good
Glue
at all.
some pads
Yeah,
shut.
glue some epoxy, some pads shut. So yeah, that would not be good. Yeah, like
accidentally super glue your hand to the horn.
yeah.
You know,
So
who
you're
hasn't?
stuck with rather than Edward Scissorhands, it's Edward Saxophone Hands. So
Or you can't get this F key off.
yeah. So all the wonders of live TV.
Yep. There we go. Okay. Now this process will be a little bit different. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to glue these on. I'm just going to glue these directly onto the keys, and then we'll wait a minute and we'll try them out. What I like to use is this one. I use this extra fast setting epoxy. There's a lot of reasons I do. One, it's thick and it has the no sag. That's pretty cool. The other cool thing about it is it color changes. So like when it comes out, it's going to be 2 colors, and then it's going to magically turn into 1. Not like yellow and blue make whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you'll see. It's going to be cool. It's going to turn clear from pink or something.
Right.
And then, and it's in this little tiny package.
Yes.
So it's just enough to do like 3 risers.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely plenty to do, a whole set of risers. And side note, it somewhat smells like bubble gum. Don't eat it though.
It does kind of smell.
Yes, do not eat it. This is the official warning. Don't eat this epoxy, even though it smells like bubble gum. So, but yeah, it is good. The no sag really helps, like, Kurt putting
No
it
one
up there.
likes sag.
Nobody likes sagging.
Yep.
Especially palm keys.
Especially palm.
Yeah. So you're setting everything up, using some cross-lock tweezers.
Okay, so I have my 3 set up. This is going to be my large, and these are my smaller ones. I'm gonna clean these up. They're all
Wipe them
clean
down.
now. Yeah,
Yep.
alcohol. Okay. Here's my F. Here's my E flat. Here's my D. Let's mix up some epoxy. There we go.
All right.
Yeah, let's get to business.
Let's do
Let's
this.
do this. I'm gonna cut this guy open. I like to cut both at once like that.
I do too. Yes, I do the same. Yeah.
I don't know what we did before this epoxy. See how it
I know.
magically comes out in clear and pink?
Yep. 2 different colors.
And it does smell. Does this?
It does.
Can you guys?
Here, let me see if I can get in. Can you guys smell that?
It's delicious.
It is. It's exactly like Hubba Bubba or Big League Chew.
Where do you put the epoxy around? You put it in.
I put it in the cup a little
Put it
bit.
in the cup?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna mix this epoxy.
There we we go.
Here we go.
Pinkish clear.
Pinkish clear, yeah.
Yep, there we go.
And
Lightening up. If you guys can
magically-
see that magic before your eyes.
Now this epoxy, if you heat it up, you don't get the thin clearness. It doesn't have that. So it lacks awesome of that.
Right.
Okay. So, but see how thick it is?
It is, yes.
It's really good for holding stuff in place, which is what you need for this guy here.
Yeah, it's like a Dairy Queen Blizzard. It's very thick.
So a Dairy Queen Blizzard. So I know how much to put in here, more or less, because I felt the key and I felt how tight this thing fit on there. So I just kind of butter that up a little bit, like the inside of a blue Dairy Queen Blizzard cup.
Yeah.
And then just gonna carefully
Just lay that on top right
put that
there.
right in place.
And with that no sag, it's not going to sag.
It just sits there. Let me do the other two. If you want to see it. Here we go.
So it's not a lot. It's not like you're heaping it in there. You're just kind of coating the entire thing in that.
But if I put too
The
much in it
inside
and
of
it
that.
oozed out, it would be okay. Like, oh look, see? See that little ooze? You know, then it's just one of these deals.
Yeah.
Not a big thing. And this stuff dries with a little bit of flexibility, which I assume takes up an impact between the riser and the key and keeps it there. Okay, one more. I better keep going because this epoxy, this is 5 minute, not talk all you want.
That's right.
Here we go. Okay, we'll put this last one on there.
There you go.
I'm gonna just pull these back because I want them in this position.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
Now I'm just gonna wait here for like 10 minutes, something like that. I mean, it's 5 minute epoxy, but
Right.
we'll give it a minute, and then we'll come back and check it out. I'll do it when you do your Tenon
Yes.
Cork, right?
Awesome. Sounds good.
Ta-da!
There you go.
Oh, did we give anything away?
We didn't. Oh my goodness. What are we giving away? We're going to give away.
Your
Are we giving?
job was-
Oh, that's right.
No,
We're giving
away.
stuff. I was
We're
supposed
giving
to
away one set of risers.
set of right.
any-
Choice of their color or our color.
I think we
They
can
can
give
shoot.
them the limited edition.
Oh, we got to.
Nah, no,
They don't
can't
want
break
that.
out the limited
Yeah,
edition.
you guys can't see
Too
that.
soon.
Too soon.
What do we give away for?
That is a good question. Somebody always saying we got a question. How would you clean up what oozes out, if any? Kurt used his finger.
And then
Just you could also use Q-tips,
Yeah.
any kind of cotton swab, paper towel. But yeah, definitely get it quick while it's still before it dries, because then
and right
you're
before it sets up, it's like a little rubbery, and you could also razor
Yeah.
it off then.
Yeah, peel it
even
off.
after, but
yeah.
it's not as fun.
Right.
But that was super easy just to do like this.
Yeah, just that little.
Like if I could have put more in there. You see, definitely could have put more in there. And if some oozed out, just pull
Just
it
like
away
that.
with my finger.
Yeah.
I didn't get the MSDS on this, but I am wearing safety goggles.
But yeah, giveaway. A set.
I'll give away to the 5th person that shares this video.
5th person
That's
that
my
shares.
default answer. All right, let's look at
Okay.
Tenon Corks.
All right, Tenon Corks. Here we go. Let's walk on
Here's the
over.
exciting part.
Here we go. Well, there's Shop Dog. All right.
Oh boy, change cameraman.
Hand off.
All right, talk loud, Ryan.
All right, I'm talking loud. Here we go.
Jody says give away a pony. Give away a Jody. All right, let's look at some Tenon Corks.
All right, so we're doing, I know this is the Sax Pro Shop, but we're going to do Clarinet Tenon Corks. It's an extremely common repair, especially if you play Clarinet.
There you go.
If you play another instrument, it's not as common. So, but here we are. I got a couple different setups. I'm going to do a recorking the mouthpiece. And I'll show you also recorking a couple of the body section, and I'll talk about corking certain areas. The first thing is whether it's fallen off or whether the cork is too thin, you got to clean off that cork. I just use normally just like a scraper, and I get in here and I just kind of clean off all the old cork. What I would not recommend doing is using any kind of solvent, denatured alcohol, acetone, anything like that. Do not use that on, especially hard rubber mouthpieces and plastic and hard rubber. Specifically the ABS plastic clarinet body. So if I can, I'll get in there and I'll scrape it. I have a little bristle wheel I put on my Fordham, the little hand piece to kind of get all this, the rest of this cork off. So that's the first step. Clean off all the old cork. Then you're going to want to take a new cork. You can either get it in sheets, and this is 1/16 thickness, or you can get our strips. We have the pre-cut, pre-beveled strips, which are with the 1/16. You still do have to trim them down. They are a little big, you can see here, which is not a problem at all. Or you can use just sheet cork. To show you how I cut my sheet cork, is I'll just kind of line it up here like this. I'll take a fresh razor blade. That's important.
A fresh razor blade.
Fresh razor blade every time, especially when you're doing, recorking. A little notch like that. I'll lay it on my cutting block. Take my ruler. If I want to be just somewhat precise, I'll kind of line the other end up like this. See if it's parallel, then I'll make my cut. If I want to be a little bit more precise, I'll use my caliper.
Whoa,
I'm not worried so much about the number. I'm just kind of keeping this spacing from here all the way down to the inches. Move that up a little bit. There we go. All right. Go ahead and cut it. Keep your fingertips back. And there we are. So you can see how that fits right there in that groove.
Oh yeah, nice cut, Ryan.
Okay. Next thing I do is I put a little bevel on it. If you buy the pre-cut ones, they already have a nice little bevel on them. If you guys can see that right there. Okay, for your overlap. The way I do mine, just something like this. It reminds me of that scene in Goodfellas when they're in prison, slicing the garlic paper thin.
Oh
It
yeah.
would just liquefy in the pan.
Yeah.
So that's how I cut mine. That's how I cut my bevel, like that. Okay. The next thing you want to do is you do want to soften this cork up. If I were to try to bend this around, it would probably, in certain spots, it would break. See, like right there. You have these little pithy cells. So you have to kind of loosen this up. Some guys take a rawhide mallet. That's fine. Get rid of some aggression. I like to use something a little bit fancier.
Oh yeah?
I'm not a savage, I'm a sophisticated gentleman. I like to use our knife picks, duckbill pliers, and I just kind of squeeze. I'm not going crazy. I'm just softening it up just a little bit. If I go too crazy, hopefully you can see, I can actually really squish it down. That's not what I want. Okay, that's not what I want. You just kind of want to loosen it up a little bit. So just a little squish.
I would go crazy.
I
would go crazy. Yeah, I would crush it down, and then you get, for real, I would crush it down a lot. I also use the Knipex to glue the various pieces for the palm key risers.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So we got that. Kind of had one over here. Where's the one I had already set up? Well, I had this one glued up. Let's do that again. Cut this, make a little bevel. The other thing you can also do, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can also just sand a bevel. Piece of sandpaper will also give you a nice bevel.
Nice.
Like
What's that? 400 grit?
This is, yeah. And when we get to sanding, I'll show you a couple little tricks of the grit. But yeah, this is a 400 grit sandpaper. All right, then we're going to loosen it up. Like I said, if I want to go Kurt style, I'll go crazy.
Go crazy.
Just go crazy.
Yeah,
with
no
it.
holds barred. That's my
No hold
style.
barred, yeah.
Yep. Go all out.
All out. So that's pretty crazy right here.
You only get one shot, Ryan.
That's one shot.
You're doing a great job.
Everybody's talking about me. What's up?
Okay.
So I already actually coated this with glue, so we would just need to kind of coat the Tenon Cork. And that's the thing. I do use cork cement or contact cement, and you do have to coat both sides in order for it to stick. You have to coat both sides and let it dry.
Both sides meaning
Both sides as far as what you want.
the two parts to stick.
Exactly.
Not
So
both sides of the cork.
Right. Yeah.
Unless
not
it's the
both sides
bevel.
of the cork, yes.
Unless.
So I did the back of this cork,
Okay.
and then I also did this part right here on the mouthpiece.
Where's your bevel in relation to your glue?
The bevel is going to be on top.
And so you glued the.
So I glued the underside.
So you call the top the beveled side.
Yes, the top would be the beveled
Gotcha.
side, so it has the bevel here.
Okay.
The bottom would be
High tech.
Yes, high
Yep.
tech. I know.
Great stuff,
It's
Ryan.
good technology.
No, it's good. You got to know these things.
So there we are.
Somebody's learning this for the first. Somebody's never used contact cement. They're watching and they're like, "Oh, this is they're getting it."
Yes, of course. So there we are. Let this dry. The biggest,
So that's glued.
yeah. This is
And this is glued?
This is glued.
Did you glue the bevel?
I did not yet.
Oh, you didn't
You
yet.
can glue the bevel, but I tend to wrap it around first,
Whoa, fancy.
all the way, and then glue that little bit of bevel there,
Really?
and then Then you have to wait.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah,
okay.
that's,
All
it's
right.
part of the repairman's
Everybody.
job is
Yeah. Everybody's.
waiting for glue to dry. That's
Whoa.
half of it.
Whoa. Watch your mouth.
Yeah. The other half
All
is
right.
looking for stuff to glue.
Yeah.
All right. So we let that dry, both sides. Okay. This is the biggest mistake when putting on tenon corks and even neck corks too, is putting it on before the glue has a chance to dry. And I'm going to do that here so you can see what it's like. This part is already dry. This part you can see is not. So if I go and start to put this on, you can see how it's.
Oh yeah,
It's
not sticking. 15 minutes says the bottle.
Yep. So
Yep.
definitely let this dry. You can see I have one here that I've had drying for quite a while.
Oh, let's see that baby go on there.
And you can see I've already stuck it on a little bit. I haven't
Okay.
glued my bevel yet.
Really?
I like to kind of wrap it around, tucking it in that corner there, or that shoulder. Almost all the way around. And I get to this part, and I glue a little bit on that shoulder, and then I just make sure that I have glue on the underside of this cork as well. So I glue the shoulder, I glue the underside of this cork, and I let it dry for a little bit. Okay?
Okay.
This one you can see is already on. I have it pushed on. I glued the bevel, I put it on, and then I cut it, and you can see what you have here now. It's just this overlap. So
Okay.
obviously it's not going to go in. So the first thing I'll do is I'll trim it with a razor blade, just to kind of get it a little bit smoother. Okay. Now we get to sanding. And for this, I have a couple different things. I use this open mesh sanding. I guess it was sanding. It's really a strip that I originally get it in, and then I trim it down to be closer to the size of the tenon.
That's a hardware store product. We sell it on our
They sell it-
website.
yeah,
It's
they sell it in
all over
sheets,
the
they
place.
sell it in strips. I've heard it be called drywall sandpaper because it's this open mesh that allows the whatever debris.
Yeah, some people use it for taking drywall down. It doesn't
Exactly.
clog up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. And then I also, for a final sand, I'll use a finer grit, and this is 400 grit.
What
So
you got on the back of that?
It's not as This is my one little tip for you guys.
One little tip.
One little tip.
All right.
Just one. The first one's free. But I put packing tape. So I take a big thing like this. This is sandpaper, 400 grit, and I'll take a strip of packing tape and I'll put it on the back, and then I'll cut strips. I find that this packing tape on the back of the sandpaper helps it prevent it from ripping, and it just makes it last a little bit longer.
Yep. It also protects the body when you use that to sand key feet.
Yeah, if you put it
Yeah.
under like a key foot and you're sanding like this packing tape protects the body.
Yep.
Saxophone and clarinet. So
Yep.
my one tip to you.
All right.
Well,
That's it. That one's free.
So that one's free.
Speaking of free, you want to give anything away? Quick?
Yeah, well, I think we're going to give away. Some cork cement. Not this one. You're going to get your own.
In conjunction with?
In conjunction with
There.
our card and a couple clarinet.
All right.
Pre-cut.
What do you want for that, Ryan? You want to comment? Or?
I think I want the funniest comment.
All right. Funniest comment.
Yeah.
Funniest comment
Funniest
gets
comment.
a clarinet Tenon Cork.
Yes.
So far, it might be yay, or it might be just the one tip.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a couple ones in there. I saw who signed on and watching this.
Jody, watch
Yeah.
your mouth
Yeah,
down there.
yeah.
All right,
I
Ryan.
got my eyes on you. All right, so now comes time to sanding it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this. This is our mouthpiece holding tool. It's just going to slip in like that. And I'm going to go over to
Oh, really? The bench
The bench
motor.
motor.
You're going to do the bench
I'm
motor
going to
thing.
use the bench motor.
Oh, all right. I'm going to cut. Which way? Where are you going to want me?
Um,
I'll just come right over here.
So as you can see, it just fits in the bench motor like so.
Oh, this is a chance for something.
Oh, this is,
Yeah, something goes crazy here.
That's right. Now the first thing I do, rather than spin it, you can spin this and
Whoops.
sand it that way, and that's not a problem. But the first thing I do is I kind of want to smooth this bevel out. Okay, this overlap. You guys can see that. So I want to smooth this bump. Okay, where the overlap
Yeah.
is. So for that, again, I'll put it on. Those O-rings are nice. Keeps it nice and secure. And I'll just kind of lightly sand. Not a lot of pressure. Let the
At this,
sandpaper do
you
all
could
the-
also tape. You could put tape on the mouthpiece to protect
Absolutely,
it.
yeah. This is just a junk mouthpiece, but you can tape, and I do that when I do saxophone neck corks.
Yes, that's why I'm mentioning it.
Yes. If you're worried about, especially at the table of a clarinet mouthpiece,
Or Kirk coming in and messing
yeah,
with
for
it.
coming in and messing with stuff.
Yep.
So you can take that up. You can even go so far as to take this up to protect it. But yeah, definitely when you're doing sax necks, real important. A little bit of masking tape saves a lot of time. So back to our bevel, kind of smoothing it out a little bit. And now at this point in time, maybe I'll run it. I'll go kind of slow here. Take it off and just kind of check the fit. That's what I got. Oh, we're looking pretty good. That's actually a pretty good fit. What I'll then do is I'll finish it up, kind of like Kurt when he did the cork palm key risers, starting with a rougher grit and then moving to a finer grit to kind of smooth things out.
So that's your 400
This
crocus
is the-
cloth?
Yep.
Okay.
400. Like that. If you wanted to as well, you can do it under the underside so you can see it. There you go.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Ready? I'm ready to play that clarinet.
It's ready. Now, one little extra step that I like to do is I like to take this paraffin wax.
Very useful.
Okay, and it's food grade, so this is canning wax. And you can put this on. Sometimes I'll heat it up with the air torch. I'll put it on, and it provides a little bit of a little extra kind of a security blanket if whoever this is, they don't use cork grease. Okay.
Oh, I feel compelled to say that when I do it, I heat up the paraffin and then I put it on there and then I heat up the cork and you can,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you can watch it like melt in there and it's
Absolutely.
so satisfying.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, putting this cork on like this. See if I can get some big chunks in here. And like what Kurt says, you can heat it up. I don't do it very hot.
Mikey says, digging the Shoreline bench motor, was that a mod from the mini lathe? Was which a mod? This thing? I think he's talking about, are you talking about this guy? Or the whole bench motor? Oh no, that's a bench motor that we sell on our site.
Yep.
Yeah, the whole bench motor variable speed.
Yeah, putting this base. I have the early prototype base before we did the blue anodizing and engraving, but it still works just the same.
Yep, that's the
It's
bench
true.
motor. Yep.
But there we are, like Kurt said, yeah, you can heat that paraffin wax up and it kind of fills in some of those gaps and some of those
There it
those
is.
pithy
It's
cells.
beautiful. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there
Awesome.
you go. The process is pretty much the same if you're doing like a, like a bottom tenon cork here. This is the one we had just put on.
Whoops.
The glue. We're just going to wrap it up all the way. You can see it's still a little wet. So it's one of those things really important to make sure that glue is completely dry before you try to stick this on. Because if this glue is still curing and you go and put this mouthpiece in this barrel, it's going to rip that cork off.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to start all over. So yeah, the biggest tip I can give you is be patient.
Let the glue dry.
Yeah, let the glue dry. That'll really be helpful. So, and it's pretty much the same process when you're doing, other body parts. You're going to cut it to fit. You're going to bevel it. You're going to, squeeze it down to kind of loosen it up a little bit. You're going to put glue on it. You're going to wrap it around. It's just a matter of how you hold it. So if I were doing one like this and I was fitting a cork like this, I would use our bench peg. You can either drill a hole in your bench if you're a savage, or you can just go ahead and get a bench motor.
Oh, you put your bench peg in your bench motor.
It makes sense.
Wow, Ryan.
So there you go.
Wow.
So yeah, and then with this, you can hold it like this, do your sanding like that, and then you're good to go. So yeah, that's it.
Awesome, Ryan. I'm grabbing my saxophone. I'm going to put some palm keys on it.
So put some palm keys. Switch off, hand off.
Okay, let's do this. Let's see what this guy looks like. I should have brought. I thought I could sneak that in while you were at your end there.
Yeah. I think that's another Wilmington right there as well. What are the odds?
So beautiful.
It's crazy.
Everywhere.
These things are everywhere.
Hey Ryan, you got a screwdriver that would work?
I think I do.
So these things, these risers that we put on are pretty much feeling solid. I had a little bit right there on the front. I should have paid closer attention. but I could cut that off with a razor blade really simply. Okay. Got my screwdriver.
Still got 22 people hanging in there watching us.
Watch the finale, the grand finale.
The grand finale.
Here we go. Get our risers on there. Did we give Matt, Bud, did anybody win the risers in our competition?
I don't know. We got Mike Vitale. Oh, Mikey Vitale asking questions.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Here we go. There we go. So here it is.
Oh,
With
those
the
look
risers
nice.
on there, and I've always felt like you should make the horn comfortable to you. So this is actually a Wilmington I use, and this is why it has these pads I'm testing out. But for this one is too big. This one here is too big. This
The one on the F.
oh, look what I did. I put the
Ah,
put 'em
switched
backwards.
them.
I put it must have
Yeah.
been the pressure, and I messed that one up. So what I might do is take that off, and I might switch them.
Yep, very easy. Yeah,
What
just
if I
heat the key
pull-
up,
Can I
switch
just
them.
pull one off now and show you how that's done? That might be worth it.
Let's see.
It's like I worked that. That was in the script.
That was. I almost said something when you were laying them out. This is the toughest part is making sure you put the right size palm key riser on the right size palm key.
Yeah. Wow. I did.
But, yeah.
I'm glad that was the toughest.
Yes, it's a learning experience here. We both learned.
Okay. Let me come over here and I'll use my heat. And go over that.
Back over to the demo bench.
Okay, let's check it out. Let's see. So what I'm going to do is heat up this key and pop this thing off. I have the air torch here. I might normally use a torch to get more heat to get in there fast to get in there faster without this will melt.
Yeah.
So I don't want to melt that. So what I'm going to do turn my air torch all the way up to high. Then I'm going to turn the air down so I get like a little bit of really hot air. And
So the temperature's all the way up and the air flow is way down.
down, and then I'm just going to hold this up and let the heat up the key underneath. And I'm going to try
So yeah,
Hmm.
okay.
trying not to let the heat from my torch rise up and burn the riser, but I'm also trying to get the heat to go up and heat this up.
So you're not aiming directly at the palm key riser, more using that heat to kind of transfer and
Get on
move up. Yeah, heat the touch up.
Yep. I might cheat because I'm getting impatient. This is where this is when problems start.
Yep.
There it goes.
Up.
So I was able
Pop
to
right
pop
off,
that
yep.
off. Now the inside of it's shaped pretty much like the key, so I might not take this out, but
See, just
kind of. This is not really set either. Maybe if it's set for a while longer, I think this step would be more difficult. But
right.
there it is. Now I'm back to where I was, and I'll switch this out and I'll put it on to the D key, and I'll take the one off the D key and put it on this F.
There you go.
There it is.
There it is.
Saxophone risers.
Saxophone risers.
Thanks everybody.
Kurt, Music Medic.
I'm here too.
Bye bye.